All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, Basham Makar double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how all you Israelite women should be warned, man, because the Hebrew Israelite man is not the new Christian sucker, man, right? He's not the new Christian sucker that, like, you can try and use to try and pay your bills because you used to be a harlot in the world and do whatever you was doing in the world, and now you want to retire, and now you're thinking, well, oh, let me find a good Christian man. But instead of saying you want to find a good Christian man now, because you can't humble yourself in a certain regard and can't even find a way to manipulate them guys, you're thinking, man, let me try and see if I can find a Hebrew Israelite man and hustle them, because they still are kind of a bit more physically appealing, they're a bit more masculine for my liking, but they kind of read that Bible thing, so I might be able to still manipulate them because there's certain scriptures in there that I can use to say, yeah, you're supposed to take care of me. Don't even, you better not even be daring to think that that's what's going to be happening around here, man. Right? Because some men that Yahweh's got set up, right? You would ruin their life. Some of you women would actually ruin these men's lives, man. If Yahweh was to give these women, if you was to be given unto these men. That's actually just the truth, man. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Right, in fact, no. Yeah, let me get this. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. The women think they slick, man. Right? Women think they slick in this world. Where is that, man? A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Where is that? Okay. Well, this scripture says the same thing anyway. Ecclesiastes chapter 25 verse 19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her, man. Right? And women think they slick in this world. Like now all of a sudden that they're starting to realize that the society's flopped, right? And that their pride that's gone on in this world has kind of allowed this whole thing to collapse down. The things that Dev did has been an addition as to why the housing market's through, right? Why a 1 bedroom house might cost 1,000. You know what I mean? Excuse me, a 1 bedroom flat might cost 1,000 because now there's way more people to live that want to live in houses. So then the landlords can raise up the rent price, right? Now that the job market's done over as well, because there's way more people that are trying to all get the same kind of jobs, right? And that if it's a job that doesn't require much skills, then it's going to be oversaturated with people. So then they don't have to pay them as much, and they can easily just hire and fire people. And then even in jobs where it does require skills and training, well, they can try and keep people in continual fear that they're going to lose their job and play around with people's emotions and set up ghost jobs even to try and make their staff be worried that they're going to lose their job, man. This is the madness that's going on out here now, because the world's like that. Some women are trying to come fake, or I'm fake repentant, or I'm fake remorseful, thinking that they can try and like get involved in a man's life that might just be doing what he needs to do for the Lord right now, right? And they want to try and introduce themselves into his life, knowing damn well that they've got on their mind, he's going to pay my bills or he's going to help me with my bills, when that man's life is set up right now to where he can serve the Lord. Or he might be trying to set up his life so that he can serve the Lord better. And you're trying to introduce yourself into his life, thinking about what you can extract from him, not thinking how you can help that man. That's what some of these women are asking some of these questions, if they have probably got in their minds, man. Some of them. Now, some of them might be sincere, but some of them have got it in their mind that they want to try and extract money, man. Because they've seen that certain Hebrew Israelites have got money, and they're thinking, oh, if I can get around this guy, he's got a bit of influence. This guy's got a bit of influence in this Hebrew Israelite thing. So if I can whisper in his ear eventually, I'll get him setting up a Patreon. I'll find out his password to his channel, and I'll try and be in the background when he's doing videos, and I'm gonna try and then I'm gonna that's what they'll be thinking, man. Now that the world's starting to get a bit more serious, women are starting to try and somewhat take the word more seriously. Now they're asking certain questions, but some of that's still not sincere, because let me get the scripture, man. The circumstances into where these women are going to be repentant and be humble have not began yet, man. It's not really began yet for us to really believe that women are humble. Isaiah, and this is me saying this, man. This isn't no, like, I'm not nobody for where no one needs to listen to me saying this, but this is just what I see, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 26, and 24, and it shall come, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink. There shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well set hair boldness, and instead of a stomach at a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. We ain't seeing these women sitting upon the ground. You still got women on TikTok and all of this stuff saying, come on, Mr. 50-50. Come on, 50-50. I'm ready to settle down now. Come on, 50-50. Like a man's supposed to be like, oh, great, love. Great. This is what I've been looking for, love. I was waiting for you to say, come on, Mr. 50-50. Because I've been waiting to want to share your half. I've been waiting, you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous out here. Even that's not humble. Come on, Mr. 50-50. Women saying all of that. Where are all the 50-50 men at now? I'm like, I need help and all that. Women setting up TikToks talking about, come on, I need a man now. I'm ready to allow you to pay my bills now. As if men hey, so lucky. As if men are really just they're so desirous in this world to just pay a woman's bills. As if that's the main thing that a man's really thinking, man, I can't wait to get a woman so that I can pay all of her bills. That's hey, it's lucky, man. Like, women, it's mad how much women in this society have not actually went out of their way to understand how a man's mind works, but we understand how their minds work. More so than they understand ours, anyway. We know that their minds are snares and nets, but women actually really think that a man's actually desirous. Like, the main reason why he wants to get a woman is to pay all of her bills, take her on expensive dates, right? Have her ration out the box to him, yeah. And what else? And give her money whenever there's some flamboyant things that she wants to buy, and pay for her to get her nails added 5 inches onto each nail, man, looking like a damn scavenger bird at the fingertips. Like, that's just what a man's really so desires to have a woman for, is so that he can just pay for everything in her life, man. Nah, because the women that are asking for this a lot of the times, in fact, I'd say 99 times out of 100, they ain't no virgin, man. I've heard the apostles say that they ain't no that they haven't had a virgin in their lifetime. And the women in their time, when they would have been similar in the ages, like their 20s and 30s and 40s, would have been different than the women now. That wouldn't have even been a woman at a time when there was no social media. So what kind of world is this? Now we're living in a world where women are competing to see who can sleep with the most men in a day. And the record is in the 900s right now, like 919 or something like that. That's the record for the most men that a woman slept with in a day, 919. And there's a woman trying to beat it right now. Oh, I want to be able to do 1,000 in a day. How? Not I want to be able to cook 1,000 meals in a day. No, I want to be able to free up the box 1,000 times to 1,000 different men in one day. You know what I mean? Not I want to see how many great meals I can cook from a man in one day. So for all the women that are trying to come towards the men of the Lord, right? Don't be surprised if they don't trust you. Don't be surprised if they're looking at you sideways when you say these things, because women have been demons on this earth, man. So don't be surprised if the same, and when it really goes down as well, man. All you women, don't be surprised when you get tested the same way as you've liked to test men in this world, trying to ask them certain questions. Oh, so what do you do for a career? Oh, and how long have you been doing it? Oh, how long, and then you go on Google when you're not around him, and Google his job description, and then you're like, oh, how much does this job make? And then you go, oh, and how much roughly would they make if they've been doing that job for 5 years, 10 years, and that? You think we don't know that women do that kind of stuff? We think we don't know that women will be talking to a guy, they'll find him on some social media, and they'll make a fake account, and then try and message him off the fake account to try and see if, oh, see, he would talk to another woman. So I'm going to still stay talking to all these other men that I'm talking to then. You think we don't know? You think we don't know that women have got backup men? We've heard the stories of what our pastors have told us about what happened in the One West, man. About how women was coming down there with long skirts, with fringes on them. How women was just freeing up the box, sleeping with this brother, sleeping with that brother. How people was hating on men that was getting certain women. How people was telling men, oh, see, that brother's sleeping with an Edomite woman. But then all of them are trying to get her as well themselves. A lot of dysfunction's been caused by women. So if you really want to try and think you can try and get with certain men that you think, oh yeah, he's highly ranked. Yeah, he's definitely going to be one of the top kings in the kingdom. All right, that's all. I guess not that bad of an idea to think, I guess. But you ain't even really thinking about really your salvation now. Are you even trying to properly learn and understand the doctrine that you believe? You know what I mean? Like, would you even be able to understand and explain why you believe that you're an Israelite? Or are you just looking for a man to try and pay for your life right now because you're through? Which one is it, man? Because guess what? We're through ourselves. You know what I mean? We're through ourselves, man. And we ain't really trying to, men ain't really trying to look for no burdens to be added onto their life, man. Not really. But women are always thinking about their own self in this world, really, man. Really, that's what it is. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. Now, these women that are trying to talk all this, they want to get with men and say all of that. Is that what's in their mind? Oh, I'm a be with you, and I ain't gonna ask you for anything once. Or are they gonna ask him for something a couple of times, man? Oh, brother, taratazat, tapatat, pat. I'm a bit low on this. I'm a bit low on that. Brother Hezekiah or whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever a brother's name would be. And then you know what I mean? And then they'll be like, oh, I've got the scripture coded in my mind that says that I'm allowed to. He has to pay for me. You know what I mean? They'd forget every scripture about what a woman's supposed to do, but then they know the scripture about what a man's supposed to do for his wife all of a sudden. You know what I mean? You women better not be trying to do that, man. Because women think they slick. All these women in the world, on all this, come on, Mr. 50-50. These women in the world trying to make out like they're killing the game. And they just figured out the codes of life. They figured out the Da Vinci Code to life. But really, they're in Dubai with a man wearing a rag on his head, yeah, that's been howling at the moon god, not telling off their face, man. And then he's like, here you go. And then they come back and they're like, see, yeah, I'm living in Dubai, I'm a socialite now. No, you ain't a socialite. You're a shitite, mate. Yeah? Dubai Harry Potters. That's what you've been doing. Dubai Harry Potter. Do you know what I mean? Don't try, but women be trying to think they slick. Women try and think they slick. People think they slick. They think they can use Yahweh's name. Like it's like Yahweh's name, something that you can just put on a flyer and then get guests to try and show up to a party. Yeah. And then try and just put the name of the Lord and the name of the Son in there. And then people are gonna show up, and then when you're like, oh, he said he couldn't make it. Nah. You gotta show some respect and manners to the name of the Lord. You gotta show some respect and manners to the doctrine. It's not something, oh, I'm supposed to charge you. Oh, do you want to know what the new covenant is? Okay, that'll be $5.99, brother. You gotta give me a subscription on that. You can do a weekly subscription. You can do a monthly. You can do a quarterly subscription, or you can do an annual one, and an annual one saves you 70 cents a day or 70 pence a day. No, it's not about that. It's about, this is what the truth is. Here's the truth. Yeah, and it's free. Just like how the men that are grinding for the Lord right now, they're not thinking about, oh, I can't wait to get some more women added to my life so I can just pay all their bills. Nah. Or I can't wait to just have a woman that I can pay all of her bills and pay. But that's what a woman's thinking in her mind when she's thinking about getting a man. She's thinking about having burdens taken away from her life. But when women get added towards men's lives, especially in this society with how things have been set up, it adds a burden onto the man, because the women in this world are not living like this towards men. Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? And the thing is, yeah, a man, if he had unlimited resources, if every single brother right now had unlimited resources, yeah, their woman would not have to complain about anything financially. But if women had unlimited resources, the men would not be given no mercy from even their women, for the most part in this world, man. The woman wouldn't be thinking, I'm gonna help him in our financial thing. And I'm talking about with unlimited resources. So even her helping the man isn't gonna stop anything from that would come out of her life. They still wouldn't want to do it. And I was listening to this video today from one of these YouTubers, and he was going into how he was talking about, he was reacting to a video where a guy's friend, he must have been doing a job in computing, and then he went from making 52,000 a year to free. He was gonna go from making 52,000 a year to 300,000, and he was gonna like make his woman have to not work no more. But he wanted to make sure that he was making the right decision by helping her. And he asked his friend, "Well, what do you think I could do?" Right? So then his friend was like, give me some time and I'll think about what you can do. So then his friend said, "You know what you should do?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't know what do you think?" He's like, "Buy a fake lottery ticket, right? Get a fake lottery ticket, and then get a real lottery ticket as well for yourself, right? And give her the fake one, and then you keep the real one, right? And just see what she does." So then she opened up the fake. He got a fake lottery ticket to where she says that you've won 500,000, right? And the woman, to cut the long story short, the woman basically, when she thought she had 500,000, ran off. She ran back to New York, man. You know what I mean? She ran back to New York, didn't want to, and was like, and messaged him as soon as she got on the plane. "Oh, I don't think that we should be with each other no more. I just think that the things wasn't really working out. We wasn't really together." You know what I mean? That's the woman's spirit, man. A woman's glory is her hair. Women have said multiple times on all of these different podcasts that if it came to giving up their social media, if it came to not wearing nails, if it came to not have to wearing weave no more, that they'd pick the weave, the nails, the social media over a man. You understand? Because they care about themselves. And that's why don't expect it to be a thing where men are just that. Don't think that the men that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai are just so out of it that you're just some holy grail, that they've just been can't wait for you to enter into their life. Like it's just something so special out there, man, because you're not. And have the humility to recognize that you're not. Because there are a lot of the women that are saying some of these things now, saying, "Oh, men of the Lord, men of the Lord." You know damn well that some of you have just recently left the man that you're with. You know damn well. You know damn well that some of you women have left the man that you're with, and you're still with the guy, trying to message and be like, "Oh, what are my options over here? Let me see if there's any options with this Hebrew Israelite thing, because yeah, true say it kind of is getting a bit more dodgy with that cashless society thing, so I'm gonna try and jump the queue now." Nah, don't think you're slick, man. Because just like how women used to contact Kevin Samuels, right? And be all on his show, and he's giving him the height question. What's your height? 5'5". What's your weight? I'm about 140. How much was you the last time you weighed yourself? 150. Then, ma'am, you know that ain't no French toast. You know what I mean? Well, you know how he's saying all of that? That's what some of you women try and do with the Hebrew Israelites. You're trying to make a fake scenario about, oh, my man don't believe in the Lord no more. My man don't this, my man don't that. When you know damn well that you did things wrong too to the man, but you ain't gonna. None of you women ever say anything that you did wrong. So don't be thinking that the Hebrew Israelite man is just some. He's just a new version of the Christian sucker that's supposed to just come and pay and bail you out. Because Yahweh needs to bail us out. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai needs to bail the Israelite man out. Never mind the Israelite man saving you. The Israelite man's not going to ultimately be the one that saves you anyway. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has to save him first. And maybe people will say, oh, why are you saying this for? Why are you saying that? I'm saying it because it's true, man. This is the kind of things that women try and think that they can do, man. And there's going to be times when all hell breaks loose that women that have got husbands, right, they're going to see men of the Lord and they're going to be around their husband and they'll try and jump from their husband to try and be with these men thinking, yeah, I'm allowed to do this because this is a special circumstances. And in them doing that, they'll have lost their salvation because they're trying to get that man of the Lord to commit adultery. You know what I mean? But there's going to be women that are going to try and do that. You already know there's going to. Oh, I just saw this guy. Everyone else outside just died from that poison that was in the air. But this man, he walked through it like Michael Jackson. He was in slow motion and everything. He walked through that. Nothing happened. How the hell did he walk through that? But everyone else died outside, but he's still alive. Oh man, I gotta level up and get to that guy. I gotta get with that guy. And they're gonna try and slime their way for some adult and be like, oh, and be trying to talk down on their man, talk down to him, and talk bad to him, and all that in front of the Jake, hoping to try and get chose up on that, man. And in that they're gonna have lost their salvation because they're trying to get that man of the Lord to commit adultery. When all hell breaks loose, we're not just going to be free to sin now. Oh, because it's the day of the Lord now. Yeah, we can commit adultery on another man's wife. Oh, yeah, we can eat pork now because obviously God wouldn't want us to starve and the only thing available is pork. Oh, yeah, we can bear false witness now. We can't, nah. That's going to be the time where, you know what? Let me get it, man. That's going to be the time where all the things that we've been learning matter the most. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Isaiah 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. That's going to be the time when it matters most for us to know all the things that we know about the Lord, man. But women are always trying to think about themselves, really. Which the scriptures do say, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But a lot of women are trying to think that they can really bounce from men that they're with right now, really. That's what I perceive is happening with some of this stuff where these women are trying to come fake humble. A lot of these women trying to come fake humble, man. Which some of it might be genuine. But the scenario that the scriptures speak about to where we're going to really know that the women are really humble is when they're sitting desolate on the ground, man. These women have still got access to social media and all of these things, and we're supposed to really believe that they're seeking after men that are Hebrew Israelites. I don't really believe that, mate. Social media is still active, like things are still going on in it. Like, I'm not really buying that women are really serious about some of this stuff that they're saying, man. I personally ain't buying it. I personally don't believe what these women are saying, man. And then they'll still be trying to think that they're gonna get the most highly ranked man anyway, which women are, I guess you can say they can do whatever they want to do and get whatever man they want to be with, right? They can do whatever they want to do, right? This is world's their oyster, right? But that you can do whatever you want to do thing don't work in the realm of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It gets exposed, man. Everything gets exposed in the realm of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Any pride that we have in us, any wickedness that we have, Yahweh will end up showing it to the congregation, man, and then you'll get laughed at for it. And they'll laugh at you. And you'll have to eat that. You'll have to eat when they're laughing at you, man. You'll have to just, or you can not do that and then get jacked up by the Lord even worse. That's what will end up happening. That's what ends up happening, man. That's just what ends up happening. That's what I've seen happens, you know? You don't want to, all you women out there, man, you don't want to be trying to think you're slick. Trying to think, oh, I can try and find one of these Hebrew Israelite mans to pay all my bills and be funding up my whole life. When you're trying to think about getting with one of these men, if you are even sincere, you should be thinking what you're going to be doing to help him, regardless of anything that you'll be expecting him to do for you. Not, oh, if he does this thing for me, then I'm going to do that. No, you should be thinking how you would even be able to help him in general. And if you can't think of anything that you do to help him, leave him alone, man. That he can serve the Lord, man. Instead of thinking, man, yeah, he ain't going to be able to do all them videos when he's, nah, leave him alone then. How about that? How about that, man? Or thinking that you're going to steal him from his woman that he's already got. Oh, he ain't going to, you know what I mean? Nah. And then some of you women out there as well that are with these men, that you're with them already right now. If you find out that other women are trying to holler at your husband, well, you ain't got the right to be trying to get jealous neither. Because who the hell do you think you are? Do you have a chariot to give people salvation? No, you don't. You don't have a chariot to be giving people salvation neither, man. Sirach chapter 26 and verse 1, blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. But how many women out here right now can say that you're adding days to your man's life? How many of you can say that? And that's for women that are in the truth and not in it. How many women in this world can really say that they are making their man's life so great that he's actually healthier? How many of them can say that? Or are they saying, well, I would have been if he was doing this, and I could have been if he was doing that. But then you don't want the man to say to you, well, I would have been doing this if she would have been doing that, and I could have been doing this if she would have been doing that. You don't want that to be said to you. But that's what a lot of women want to try and say to men all the time, man. And they're trying to come fake humble, in my opinion. They're trying to come fake humble towards Hebrew Israelite men now, because they're thinking about what the man's going to do for them only. And they're thinking about, oh, I'm going to be the first wife in the kingdom. Or I'm going to be first dibs. And surely that's going to come with some special privileges. That's surely going to come with some special privileges if I get my first wife. And I'm going to have first dibs. And then I'm going to be deciding what next women he's going to have. No, you're not. Like, a lot of women actually think that they're going to be able to tell, when the whole hell breaks loose, that they're going to be able to tell men, okay, that's enough now. That's 10 wives. That's enough. How many do you need? The man will look you in your face and be like, as many as I want to have. And in fact, I'm down one less now because you're out. Like, women, I don't think men are really prepared to see how, 1144, they ain't prepared to see how men are going to be free from being questioned, man, when all hell breaks loose. They're going to be free from questioning, man. Let me read this. Sirach chapter 26 and verse 13, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. How many of you women have got discretion out here? Or most of the time you're just gallivanting up yourselves in next man's face all the time, man? Isn't that what most of the women do out here? Like, when we even as men walk down the streets, man, and then we see how some of women are dressed when they're with their men, and we're thinking, rah, bruv, you dress like that when you're with your man. It's clearly obvious when a woman is dressed overly provocative when she's with her man, always when she's without him. With or without, that's off. Because if you're with your man and you're dressing like that, you're bringing unnecessary attention to where somebody might say something, and now your man's gonna have to step up and say something, or he might have to. And if you're not with him, you're bringing unnecessary attention to yourself, because now men are gonna be trying to come up to you in the street talking to you because you're showing yourself off like you're single. You're putting yourself on display with or without your man when you dress like a certain way. But why would you be doing that? How about you men learn to show? How about you learn less is more? Verse 14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. And how many of you women actually even like for your man to tell you anything? Or do you get the right advice from him, and then you deliberately do the wrong thing? And then when you get jacked up or judged, then you're like, oh shit, I should have. But you could have just listened to the right thing in the first place. How many of you women out here have secretly recorded mans or taken screenshots of your man's conversation that you would have with him and stuff like that, probably in his world? How many of you women out there, when you're in a restaurant and if a man tries to talk to you anywhere where money gets spent, and your first thing you're thinking is, how is he gonna try and come up to me and talk to me without paying for my gas, without paying for my petrol, without paying me for my drink, without paying for my this, without paying for my that? You're always thinking about some way to extract money from men all the time, man. So all you women that are trying to come towards the Hebrew Israelite thing, don't be surprised if men start looking at you like that's what you're doing, because you've came out of the world. So you would still have some of the world on you. And you will be getting looked at like, man, what she got from the world on her. Verse 15, a shamefaced and faithful woman. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and a continent mind cannot be valued, which is an excellent thing if a man sees a woman like that. A woman she won't even, when she's out in public, she don't even just look all up in men's face all the time. But some of the women these days are coming like bricklayers, bruv. Y'all will spit on the ground like mans. Some of these women look like they could do press-ups on their forehead, bruv. No hands. Women doing clap press-ups on their damn knuckles out here looking like, man. Women walking around with arm sleeve tattoos. Moving mad as hell out here. Talking about fam. Women talking about men. Like men are their hoes. Yo, every man a cheated, yeah. Yo, every man a cheated, yeah. Yo, I met that. Yeah, I pattern that off. And you're thinking, ugh. Like, why are you talking like this? Every man a cheated, yeah. Like when you hear women talking about that, women are talking about men like they're clapping men's cheeks these days. It's ridiculous. So don't be surprised. Hey, Salakia, don't be surprised if men are gonna look at you sideways. Salakia, 1 second. Yeah, like I was saying, man, a lot of you women trying to think you're gonna try and supplant something in the Hebrew, if you like, Israelite thing. If you're thinking that's what's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen. Right? Now, for the women that are sincere with what they're saying, well then fair enough, man. But some people thinking that they can try and extract money and take things from people all the time, that's not gonna be what's gonna be happening, man. So when you're saying that you want to be around these men and saying all this and saying all that, like, if you're actually really thinking that and actually understand what the Hebrew Israelite thing is, well, just know what kind of person you're saying you're going to be with, that you're hoping to be with, is actually would be the future rulers of the world. So if you think you're going to be able to offend these people and get away with it, you're not going to be able to, right? But if you're just looking at it as, oh, it's a man that he kind of believes in this Bible thing and that, and he looks like he might, yeah, the background when he does his videos, yeah, it kind of looks nice. He kind of looks like he's got his stuff together. So yeah, I'm gonna just try and get with him, and I'm gonna get him to pay my bills. If that's what you're thinking, well, nah, it's not gonna go that way, mate. That's not gonna be the way that it's gonna go, because men are not just out here hoping to pay everything in your life. Right? That's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on down here, man. Even in the kingdom, that's not the thing that men are just so desirous to be seen, man. We're hoping to turn ourselves into a nation and to rule the earth and see righteous, man, and to see the world not wicked. And of course, the wife thing is going to be a good thing, and we want to be able to take care of our women. But that's not the overall thing of what we're hoping to be around, man, and hoping to see. You know what I mean? We want to see the Israelite woman in a good state, but we want to see ourselves in a good state first, man. And we already know over here that we don't need the Israelite woman to bring back the nation of Israel, and women can get as offended by that as they want to. That's the truth. The Israelite man does not need the Israelite woman to bring back the nation of Israel, so be warned, man. When you're talking all this, single women in the time of Jacob's trouble, think about getting sick on a chariot, mate. Make that be the first thing that you're thinking about. Don't just be overly desired, you know what I mean? Just same way how we get told as men, don't be overly desirous for multiple wives. That's the same way how women, to a certain degree, shouldn't be overly desiring to be having a man taking care of them all the time, man. Which I guess it's hard to say one to one and one to the other, because what man doesn't want to have multiple wives, really, if they was being honest? I don't believe that there's any man in this world that if they knew that it was going to be peaceful and fine, would not want to have multiple wives. I don't believe that any man would actually be telling the truth if he says he doesn't want to. I think that they'd be lying. Just like how a woman, I don't believe that there's any woman out there, if she could have one man that sustains her and keeps her peaceful in every single category of life. He's as tall as she wants him to be, as handsome as she wants him to be, as charismatic, got as much money as she wants him to be, has got the right social circle of friends to where she continually gets a reminder that he's the best option for her. I don't think that there's any woman that would be desiring to be with multiple men. They just want to be with one. Because they'd be like, well, what's the point of me doing all of this for all of these other guys when I can just be with one man? That's what I think. Which is the nature of how Yahweh set up the man to be and the woman to be. Whereas on the other side, a man, he's always going to want to have multiple women. That's what I think. And if you expect that men that are hoping to be immortal are going to want to have one wife, well, like if you're one of them brothers out there that you're saying you're going to have only one wife forever, well, that's up to you, man. In the kingdom, your beeswax is going to be your beeswax, yeah? And my beeswax and another brother's beeswax, his business is going to be his business. So if you want to be 2 million years old and have only had one child every year, that's up to you, innit? That doesn't mean that you're a demon for doing that. Just like it wouldn't mean that another brother's a demon but in that time he's got 2 million wives, or however many he decided to have. Or if he had 10, 5, whatever number above one. Right? That's going to be up to him. Right? That'll be up to him, man. Just like how it will be up to you what you do in the kingdom. That's not going to be sinning for yourself, man. And yeah, that's what it is. Let me get this, man. Because obviously, when things start going bad down here, women are obviously going to get scared. They are going to. And something's happening in this world to where women are even asking these questions. The fear's starting to grow within them. They're starting to realize that, man, this society ain't what it is. They're starting to realize, but they still would, if it's not sincere properly, according to the prophecy, well, then it's going to be exposed as it's not sincere. 2 Ezra chapter 15, and I'm going to jump to verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And when all hell breaks loose, man, when it really, like, people hear that, people that have watched enough Hebrew Israelite videos, they'll have heard all hell breaking loose, and they thought, man, I've seen hell. I used to live in East LA or West LA. I used to live in Chicago. Yo, I'm from Handsworth. I'm from Pecknam. I'm from Brixton. I'm from South. I'm from Aston. You can't tell me nothing about hell breaking loose. I've been seeing hell breaking loose, fam. No, you haven't. Or somebody else that's even lived in a war zone, I've seen war, brother. Mate, you ain't seen this. You ain't seen this. You understand? You ain't seen this. Even as I'm speaking right now, I can hear a siren going off, right? But people, you ain't seen this, man. People thinking, oh yeah, I've seen things. You ain't seen this though. You ain't seen this day. You understand? When we say hell breaking loose, we mean hell breaking loose. Everything that can happen, happening all at once. You understand? Who's ever seen that? Who's ever seen everything that can possibly happen? All the bad things that can happen in the world, all happening at the same time. Plagues happening at the same time as everything else is happening, at the same time as the cash ain't worth nothing no more. At the same time as people are looting. At the same time as there's a civil war. At the same time as there's a world war. At the same time as there's a racial war. Who's seen that happening before all in the same time? No one's really seen that, man. So don't be thinking because you grew up in a rough neighborhood that you're about that life and that you can handle the day that's coming, man. But as it starting to gonna really start to get real, women are obviously gonna be scared. And that's when we're gonna start to know that women trying to say that they need men's help is sincere. Not when they're just saying it on a comment board now. You know what I mean? Women's proper way towards men can't really be seen in times when it's still peaceful. You know what I mean? It's when all hell's breaking loose that you really get to see what they're under, man. Verse 18, for because of their pride, this city shall be... And someone might say, no one ain't checking for you anyway. Well, that's fine, man. That's fine if that's what people want to say. They might say, oh, why you're just jealous that no one got on your comment board and said that. Well, if that's what you think that, man. You know what I mean? Whatever you people out there, you want to think about whatever we're saying. We can't just, every single time we talk about a topic that we're necessarily talking about our life, man. We're talking about things that we see. We're talking about things and the trajectory of things that we know how people act in this world because we live in this world, man. And we are around you people and we see how you are and we know how you are. And some of the time we can predict what's going to happen in your life a few days or a few years or a few months from now. Because we know the scriptures and we know what the scriptures say happens in certain scenarios, man. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So when all hell breaks loose, there's barely going to be any food in certain scenarios, man. So women are definitely going to be trying to run to men humble in that time. And that's when you're going to know it's humble. You're going to know, yeah, that she meant that. Yeah, she meant that she'll wear her own, have her own bread and wear her own apparel, own let us be called by thy name. But in this world, where you can still just quick time buy a Lambo, you can quick time set up a dating app or set up a social media account. You know what I mean? Or a woman can quick time just easily go down the street dressed provocatively and get different men to be trying to holler at her. Like much of what a woman says in this world, like it has to be taken like with a pinch of salt, man, because you're like, I don't know if you really meant that, mate. I don't know how sincere that really was. And this was just me doing a video, man. To all the men that are saying all of these things, be warned, man. That if you're not saying it in sincerity, Yahweh's going to expose you. That you're trying to ruin men that he's chose to teach his word. You're trying to really ruin their lives, man. So you better be very careful. Right? All you women out there that are trying to say, oh, men of the Lord, men of the Lord. Be sure that you're being sincere, man. And that you're not just trying to expect you're going to put a burden on their life to make them be paying for everything in your life now that you can't handle yourself. Like the men ain't got enough problems of their own to deal with. Like they ain't fighting a spiritual battle himself that he's got to deal with, man. You know what I mean? And on that, I'm going to say shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.